For the first time tonight, we are hearing from the loved ones of a father of 3 days after he lost his life in a pileup crash on the I-10 near Tonopah.
Fox 10's Nicole Christine has been following this story since it happened. She joins us live in studio tonight with more from the families who were impacted by this, Nicole.
Yeah, it's a tragedy, and we are continuing to learn more about the people involved in this tragic pileup along I-10. We know 4 lives were lost and others with injuries so severe they're still in the hospital. And with 12 vehicles involved, there are several families whose lives have been changed forever.
Dustin Clough is described as a daredevil by his ex-wife, Nikki.
He has always just been a rebel. He was always super adventurous. He was very daring.
A fan of heavy metal music, outdoor adventures, and quality time with his 3 children, Nikki says Dustin was a great dad.
He was always taking Jackson out rock crawling with him. He was always taking him to concerts with him. And, you know, with the girls, he would take him out to dinner and he would take him out for ice cream. And he just enjoyed spending time with them.
On Saturday, Nikki and her 3 kids got the devastating news that Dustin was killed in a series of collisions along I-10 near Tonopah. News Nikki says her and her kids are still processing.
And the girls and I just kind of expected somebody to call us and be like, we were just joking, he's in the hospital, like he'll be back. And it just doesn't feel real.
The grief, not just for losing Dustin, but for future milestones they've been robbed of sharing with him.
He's going to miss graduations. He's going to miss weddings. He's going to miss grandkids, holidays.
Dustin and his girlfriend Melinda were 2 of 4 victims who lost their lives in the crash. A dozen other people were hurt, including Shannon and Mike Smith. Shannon remains in the hospital with serious burns and other injuries.
Their car caught fire, and she had to climb over the center console, and she's reaching in the back to grab her purse, and that's how she got like her arms burnt and her back, and it's going to be a long time before she comes home.
The couple still not sure what happened to their beloved dog Lulu. The family battling scam calls about alleged appearances of the dog while trying to bring her home.
You guys are messing with that's like their child. I mean, my father-in-law is going crazy because he rescued that dog.
While the Smith family searches for answers, the Clough family searches for closure.
And when you see people coming together like this to help out, to be present, to lift burdens, it's nice to see people being nice. He died too soon, and the world is going to be a very different place without him in it.
Now, both the Clough and the Smith families have GoFundMes set up for help in dealing with the aftermath of this tragedy. Meanwhile, the Department of Public Safety still investigating the cause of the pileup. They are considering the blowing dust and windy conditions we saw Saturday as potential factors. Reporting in studio tonight, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.
Nicole, thank you. And DPS, as Nicole mentioned, is still investigating the cause of the crash, but some families have expressed concern over safety on that same stretch of I-10. This month, ADOT is starting new projects to repave and improve safety in the area. The asphalt will be replaced, new drainage facilities will be built, bridge repairs are being made, and a concrete barrier added along with new signage and fencing. The work is expected to take about 11 months. This was already planned before the crashes over the weekend.
The death toll continues to climb after a major pileup on the I-10 in the far West Valley. Cars, trucks, and tractor trailers all caught up in the crash near Tonopah. 6 people were killed and more than a dozen hurt. Nicole Christine has made her way to the scene tonight. She is live, the only reporter there, along with photojournalist Laura Hess. Nicole, it looks like you're about to do an interview. What can you tell us so far?
Yeah, hey, Brian. Now, Warren Trent is here from the Department of Public Safety. Warren, you were very gracious to get us as close as we could to get the best information, the best viewpoint for viewers at home, because this is a big deal. And let's start with the newest information that you have for us tonight.
Certainly. Well, this is a very, very horrific situation. We have 4 confirmed fatalities. We have a driver of a tractor trailer. We have 3 individuals deceased in the vehicles. What's tragic, which makes it even more tragic, is that we're certainly hope this is not the case, but it's so mangled that we don't know if there are more victims in the wreckage. And so right now we're in a situation where there is a significant backup westbound here on the I-10, and the roadway probably will remain closed for DPS purposes. We won't be finished out here for another 4 to 6 hours at least.
And I understand that that's just part of the cleanup, and then ADOT is going to be involved.
Yes,
So can you kind of run people through what steps are needed in a situation like this? Because it's obviously frustrating to be backed up in traffic, but the investigation is really important.
Yes, so our investigators, I mean, they're going to be out here. This is going to take a while to do. So ADOT, yes, they will be out here, and they have to assess the roadway, assess if there's what kind of damage there might be, before it's safe enough for the drivers to proceed. So yes, we know that it's frustrating, but we still have to make it safe for them to travel through.
And we know that the weather was really frustrating today. We don't have any cause for this wreck, but just when people are waiting in this line, what do you want them to know, just in general, about driving through this inclement weather in general that we do see sometimes during the monsoon season and stuff like that?
Sure. Well, first of all, yes, we don't know what the cause is. We don't know if weather was a factor or not. But for the drivers, I certainly hope that they have water and maybe some food, some snacks. Just pack your patience, if anything. That's the only thing I can say at this point. It's just a very unfortunate situation all the way around.
Yeah, and we'll be thinking about the victims that we know and hoping that that death toll doesn't climb at all.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Brian, we'll send it back to you in the studio, and we will continue, of course, to follow this tragic incident and the backup created in the traffic.
Nicole, before I let you go, I saw you weaving through traffic earlier tonight. Are you at the actual scene, and what do you make of what you're seeing?
Yeah, so you can see behind us that the police tape is up just a few feet in front of us. And so what we have been able to see, there's a lot of first responder vehicles. There are police tape. There's just so many people that are working this scene. As Warren mentioned, this investigation is going to go on for hours, and there's a lot of parts to it. So we have actually seen a lot of different vehicles involved that are assessing things. When we passed by earlier, it looked like there were some tables, or maybe some makeshift tables, that were laid out so that they could process evidence. So we don't have like a clear view of the accident itself here, of the collision, but we are back quite a bit still because there is so much of a scene to process. And of course, we know that multiple vehicles that were involved did catch fire as well. So then that just adds another element to not only the tragedy, but also the cleanup and the assessment that is needed. So we are here as close as we could get to the police tape, and we're going to continue to search for any more information that we can get. We want to thank Warren for joining us from DPS and allowing us to get this close to the scene to provide everyone at home with that information.
All right, Nicole, thank you. Going to be a long night ahead for sure. But we begin with that big dust storm today. It hit around 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is a look from our ADOT camera right around the Loop 303 and Thomas out in the West Valley, adding a degree of difficulty for drivers out that way, along with baseball friends trying to get in the game today at spring training. And today's dust storm likely will not be the last. Let's go to Nicole Christine joining us live from Camelback Ranch, the site of today's Giants-Dodgers game. Hey, Nicole, all clear now?
Yeah, Brian, the visibility is a lot better now. It seems like the majority of the dust has moved through the area, but as you can see, we're taking the wind-blown look to an extreme. We've got a lot of high wind gusts still happening, and that's expected to continue through the evening, so people do need to be aware of that. And of course, we do have regions of our east that are still being affected by that dust and will be for a little while, so just be aware of that. But speaking of the baseball, it's kind of crazy to hear that Giants and Dodgers fans might agree on something, but today both fan bases said that they thought this dust storm may have affected the productivity of the game. As a wall of dust hit a stretch of the I-10 in the West Valley this afternoon, baseball fans observed weather conditions affecting gameplay at the Giants versus Dodgers spring training game at Camelback Ranch.
A couple of long balls got held up and didn't go out like they were supposed to, especially for my Giants.
Visibility reduced to under a mile, affecting drivers on valley highways and spectators in the stands.
People were kind of getting dust out of their eyes.
And lots of dust has got in my eye. At the beginning, it was just like a little windy, and then I walked up and and like where all like this, like the food and stuff, and it just like it flew my little cousin almost over.
This map from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association showing the dust as a magenta wave popping up in spots across the state. Conditions hazardous for those traveling today, but in the safety of the ballpark, the main hazard is a wasted at bat.
I just know that one player hit one and it just like curved kind of, so like I think that was because of the wind too.
Yeah, and the Dodgers only won by 1 run today, so who's to say what it would have been like if it was clear skies and low winds today. But on a serious note, we do want drivers who are preparing for monsoon season, these dust storms that we're going to be seeing, to know that it is really important to stay off the roadways if you can. And if you do get caught in a dust storm when you're out on a highway or another roadway, the best thing to do is find a safe place off of the paved road to pull over. You're supposed to turn all your lights off and just sit and wait that storm out. It is really dangerous sometimes out on these roadways when those dust storms hit. Reporting live at Camelback Ranch today, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.
All right, good advice. Thank you, Nicole.
News alert out of Scottsdale tonight. A man is under arrest after a shooting inside a hospital emergency room. Scottsdale police say a security guard was shot during an altercation. Officers found the suspect on the ground being restrained by hospital staff and security. The shooter was also an ER patient and brought to the hospital for treatment by a family member. Scottsdale police say they were able to quickly secure the shooter.
We already had officers responding to a call of a disturbance at the ER when it actually escalated in real time as officers were responding to this call. And so there was some credible information from the beginning that this was not someone who just randomly walked in and started any kind of violence, that it was already an incident that was already occurring in the emergency room that had escalated.
The wounded security guard is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and police say the hospital is still open and accepting patients.
Scottsdale police have identified the man accused of shooting a security guard at a Scottsdale hospital over the weekend. This happened at the Honor Health campus near Shea Boulevard and the Loop 101. 30-year-old Maximilian Yanofsky allegedly shot the security guard in the upper body during an argument. Police say Yanofsky was brought to the ER by a family member over medical concerns. He was quickly detained by other security and hospital staff. Police then took him into custody. The wounded security guard was transferred to a different hospital with a trauma center, and Yanofsky is facing several charges, including aggravated assault. Also tonight, we're learning more about the victims of that deadly crash west of Phoenix over the weekend.
4 people in all were killed in that multi-vehicle crash outside of Tonopah, and tonight we're hearing from family members of those killed, including a young mother.
Fox 10's Lauren Clark joins us now with more. Lauren.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Such a heartbreaking story. Family describes Melinda Cobbold as a wonderful person who was a dedicated mother of 2 sons who loved her siblings and also loved adventure. Her brother says she was taken far too soon.
It's something out of a movie. You would see it and on the news and you go, that's unfortunate, but you never know the actual life or the reality of it until you live it.
For Joey Cobbold, words fall short of describing the grief of losing his older sister, Melinda Cobbold, a person who loved her 2 sons fiercely.
She did everything she could to make sure that her family was taken care of, and you know, phenomenal mother.
And someone full of adventure.
She loved to go outdoors. Every other weekend it was, let's go camping, let's go to Crown King, let's go do this, let's hop in the razors, let's take the boys out, you know.
Joey says Melinda and her boyfriend went up to the dunes for a trip this weekend. But on the way home outside of Tonopah, tragedy struck. Their car, one of several involved in the multi-car fiery crash.
Just a complete freak incident. It could have happened to anybody.
Joey says both died in the collision.
The best thing is to remember the best parts of them and how they were, and you know, not what happened.
Through broken hearts, he says his family is sending condolences to others involved and are holding on to Melinda's legacy through her 2 sons, Jonathan and Jackson, ages 16 and 9.
In priority with everything is just to put every ounce of focus and energy into making sure those boys are taken care of and making sure that they succeed and do well in their life, and you know, understand that sometimes loss is tough, but you know, with a team like we have and the support system we have behind us, that you know, anything's possible to be able to overcome.
Now, DPS is still trying to investigate the cause of the deadly pileup, but troopers say the wind and the blowing dust in the area could be potential factors. Now, we have a link on our website to a GoFundMe page to help support the 2 boys at this time. If you feel compelled to donate, we do have a link to that on our website. That's fox10phoenix.com. Reporting live here near Peoria, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
Center stage at the White House today, President Trump announcing TSMC in Phoenix is more than doubling in size and investing $100 billion more in our state.
Yeah, the president said that this will create tens of thousands of jobs. Steve Nielsen joins us live in studio with a look at why this is happening now. Steve.
Yeah, well, the short answer the president wants to give here is tariffs. TSMC was already fully committed to our state, but this changes the entire scope of what's happening there. In the last few weeks, the first chips produced at Taiwan Semiconductor in Phoenix were ready for delivery. A massive economic story that's now more than doubled overnight.
Without the semiconductors, there is no economy.
During an announcement at the White House, the CEO of TSMC spoke with the president about this new investment in Arizona.
We are going to invest additional $100 billion in addition to our current $65 billion investment in Arizona.
A total now of $165 billion invested here. TSMC already committed to building 3 full-scale fabrication facilities here. Now they'll double that and build 2 new packaging plants and a research and development center. Already they employ thousands of Arizonans. Now, so many more.
You're probably talking about 25,000 jobs, but it'll get bigger and bigger with time. Knowing this gentleman, it'll get bigger and bigger. There'll be no stopping him.
The chips made at the Arizona facility powered every electronic you can think of. TSMC didn't expand on the timing of this announcement, but the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, says it's because of Trump's taxation policy.
They can come here because they can avoid paying tariffs. If they did them in Taiwan to send them here, they'll have 25% or 30% or 50% or whatever the number may be someday. It'll go only up.
Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego saying in a statement, billions in investment in thousands of high-tech, high-paying jobs illustrate how TSMC is a partner in cementing Phoenix as a global leader in semiconductor production. Yeah, that perspective's really important. We've talked for years about how massive it is for the Arizona economy to have 3 fabs and $65 billion in investment. Today, that more than doubled. Stick around for Fox 10 News at 6. We'll talk with some of the state's biggest economic leaders live about why this matters for all of us in Arizona. Steve Nielsen, Fox 10 News.
Tonight on Fox 10 Investigates, we're delving into an alleged body scan scam involving a Lake Havasu couple facing federal fraud and conspiracy charges. The FBI accuses Mary and Fred Blakely of falsely marketing ultrasound machines and cancer-treating supplements.
Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum joins us live after uncovering new allegations and the couple's criminal history. Justin.
Mark, Christina, if convicted, Mary and Fred Blakely could spend the rest of their lives in prison. Investigators say the Blakely clinics charge hundreds of dollars per body scan, and the FBI has been investigating the scheme for a few years. We've obtained recent court filings that reveal the couple's plan to, quote, arm Arizona for a civil war. Arizona isn't one big desert. Just head to Lake Havasu City, known for its water sports, boating, and fishing recreation, located in Mojave County, marked by the London Bridge, a popular stop for tourists. A destination to cool off, but also where Mary Page Smith and her husband found a full body scan clinic in 2023 recommended by a friend.
This guy was like, hey, you should go check this out. She scanned my carotid. She was able to identify that I have plaque, and she gave me this great drug, this product, and now it's totally cleared and I'm fine.
She is 75-year-old Mary Blakely, and she called herself a doctor, seen here in a 2015 interview for a local morning news segment discussing her ultrasound machine's ability to detect cancer.
We're going to find it fast and fix it, and you're going to be a survivor before damage has occurred.
Smith is a nurse practitioner herself and says she noticed red flags during her husband's evaluation.
She started out by putting the probe on the back of his head, and she said, you have a spike protein in your brain. Okay, one, you can't see protein on an ultrasound. Two, can't really ultrasound people's brains. That's why we have MRIs and CTs when people have brain things going on. So, you know, I just sat there through the whole thing thinking, none of this is real. Like, none of this is real.
This was more than a year before Mary and her husband, 60-year-old Fred Blakely, were indicted by a federal grand jury in Pennsylvania on several charges, including mail and wire fraud conspiracy. Fox 10 obtained the unsealed indictment that says Blakely never held medical licenses in Arizona. Prosecutors also say she told patients her proprietary smart chip technology enhanced her ultrasound machine, falsely and fraudulently claiming it could detect a variety of human diseases, illnesses, and conditions, including blood cancers.
And that she's practicing medicine without a license. That is what went through my head from the very beginning.
Court documents reveal Dr. Mary prescribed supplements, creams, and even veterinary products to customers. She claimed I-10 could pull cancer cells out of the patient's skin. I-10 has never been approved by the FDA as a drug. Instead, it's used as a skin moisturizer. Smith says she witnessed Blakely sell a cream to treat cancer.
I'm sitting in the lobby while we're waiting for our turn, and there was like an older guy came out from a scan, and it was her daughter that was the receptionist. She's like, oh, now you have to buy this cream because the scar from your cancer surgery, like if you get inflammation in there, you're gonna get cancer back. And sold him like this little thing of cream for $399.
Important to note, the Blakely's Lake Havasu clinic is no longer at this plaza, but its last known address was here. Then there's fenbendazole, which is not approved for use in humans, but is approved by the FDA to treat parasites in animals. Per investigators, Mary Blakely said the drug could treat breast cancer and blood cancer. Blakely claimed to have earned a PhD in radiation in nuclear physics in Sweden. Court documents say she lied about having dual U.S.-Swedish citizenship, but in fact, she never earned a degree from the Karolinska Institute, and she's only a U.S. citizen. Smith has reported her own complaints to the Arizona Attorney General and has spoken with FBI.
I just wanted to get out of there. At which point I immediately told my husband, like, that was ridiculous. Like, nothing she said is valid.
Back in January, special agents with FBI Phoenix helped FBI Philadelphia's healthcare fraud investigation into the Blakeleys, arresting the couple at their Lake Havasu home and executing a search warrant here, as well as at multiple locations in Arizona and one in Utah.
I woke up to a loud bang about 6 o'clock in the morning. Eventually looked outside. I think that was the FBI breaking in.
A neighbor who wants to remain anonymous says she saw several FBI agents seize evidence.
The crime scene FBI van, they were here for roughly 8 hours.
When we visited, no one else appeared to be home. Mary Blakely's Facebook profile shows photos of her and Fred. According to the indictment, the Blakeleys profited from selling supplements and delivered products through U.S. mail and commercial carriers to Pennsylvania and other locations. The alleged scheme to defraud lasted from March 2021 through November 2024, investigators say. But through the U.S. government's motion to keep the Blakeleys in custody, Fox 10 is learning more about their criminal history. Fred and Mary Blakely were arrested in 1997, charged in Nevada with conspiracy to possess with intent to manufacture methamphetamine. They violated pretrial release, later found and arrested in Minnesota. They pleaded guilty and served about 5 years in prison. FBI undercover agents began investigating the Blakeleys in 2022. They say Fred collected, built, and modified firearms despite being a prohibited possessor as a felon. Court documents say he maintained a workshop on his pastor's property where an eventual search led to the recovery of 30 firearms and 30,000 rounds of ammunition. Undercover recordings reveal what prosecutors call Fred's desire to kill people with his illegal firearms, especially anyone who disagreed with him politically or came to arrest him. During one conversation in August of 2022, Fred says, quote, "We're going to have to go to war with our government," going on to say, well, they're trying to start a civil war. That's their game plan right now. You better arm up good. I've got thousands of rounds of ammunition and I'm ready to rock. In the same day, a recording of Fred says, quote, "As a matter of fact, I'm planning on shooting some humans, so I got pointed top points for them," end quote. In May of 2023, Mary Blakely is recorded telling an undercover agent that Fred and their pastor were making thousands of guns, saying, quote, "We're arming Arizona." Later, Mary is saying they're, quote, "making guns for the world," and, quote, "they're arming America." Other conversations show Fred's feelings on the Democratic Party, telling the undercover that every bullet he owns, quote, has a D on it, and goes on to say, quote, my anger is so immense towards these people. I mean, I just kill them without any thought of remorse, end quote. We reached out to the Blakely's attorney for comment and have not heard back.
The maximum possible sentence on the charges the Blakely's face is 165 years in prison. Trial right now is set for April 29th in Philadelphia.
Whoa. Okay, so Dr. Mary had no medical license.
None at all.
Okay, so there was a clinic in Scottsdale as well. So there's probably people out there that may have been, quote unquote, treated.
And that's a big key here. According to the FBI, there were multiple clinics, including Scottsdale, like you said. So if you have been a patient at one of the Blakely clinics, you are asked to fill out an FBI questionnaire, because the more information they can get, the better. We have included that link on our website, fox10phoenix.com.
Wow.
And Justin, you mentioned in that story a lot of weapons, a lot of ammunition found at the home, and the FBI believes that Fred was trying to apparently grow that arsenal. What other evidence do they have, or what do they think he was trying to do exactly?
Yeah, let's remind everyone again, prohibited possessor here, and they found 30 firearms, 30,000 rounds of ammunition, and undercover agents went to his workshop, according to these documents, saw firearms and ammunition as well, and there are emails that they've obtained that show correspondence with arms dealers. So the indication is that he was looking to collect more and grow this arsenal for whatever reason, according to prosecutors.
Wow. Hopefully there was no real harm done in all of this, because taking medications like for veterinary purposes, or who knows, I mean, this could be dangerous.
That is scary as well. And again, if you have any information, please contact the FBI. We have that information on our website.
Justin, thank you.
Great work tonight, Justin. Thanks. New at 9, President Donald Trump's administration has canceled leases for 24 federal offices here in Arizona. That's according to the Doge website. It shows a long list of federal real estate offices closing, including 9 leases in Phoenix, 2 in Tucson, 2 in Flagstaff, and others across the state. Some of the offices closing here in the Valley include the Forest Service in Mesa, the Executive Office for Immigration Review in Phoenix, the Public Defender Service in Phoenix, and the Food and Drug Administration in Tempe. It's unclear, though, what this means for the employees or if their jobs will be terminated.
Meantime, Doge also making more staffing cuts here in Phoenix. We have learned that the local agency in charge of running the Sandra Day O'Connor courthouse in downtown has all been laid off. Employees for the General Services Administration, they were notified this week that they were being terminated as part of the Trump administration's efforts to downsize the federal government. We reached out to GSA, who confirmed the layoffs, but they did not say how many employees have been fired.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sheriff Adan Mendoza, Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office. With me today is Dr. Heather Jarrell, Chief Medical Investigator for the New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator, Dr. Aaron Phipps, New Mexico State Public Health Veterinarian, New Mexico Department of Health, and also Chief Brian Moya, Santa Fe City Fire Department. This investigation started on February 26th with the discovery of Mr. Hackman and Ms. Arakawa and their dog at their residence. I just want to do a short recap and then touch on some new information. As we know, both individuals tested negative for carbon monoxide. City Fire conducted tests and deemed scene safe for deputies to conduct their investigation. The preliminary pacemaker interrogation results were released last week, and I'll let Dr. Jarrell touch more specifically on those results. The gas company New Mexico, they also did an analysis of the residence, and they found one minor leak in a single burner on the kitchen stove, which was 0.33% of room air, which was pretty minute and insignificant. Since that time, Xena, the deceased dog, has been taken for necropsy at the Veterinary Diagnostic Services, and we'll be awaiting those results. Let's speak a little bit in reference to the timeline for Betsy Arakawa. We know from our investigation that on February 9th, 2025, she picked up Xena from Gruta Veterinary Hospital. There was a procedure that was done with the dog, which may explain why the dog was in a crate at the residence. Let's move on to February 11th, 2025. Mrs. Arakawa had an email conversation with her massage therapist at about 11:21 a.m. Moving on into the afternoon, Ms. Arakawa was at the Sprouts Farmers Market between 3:30 and 4:15 p.m. Ms. Arakawa was seen on surveillance video at the CVS Pharmacy in Santa Fe from 4:12 to 4:20 p.m. She then stopped at a local pet food store at about 4:54 p.m. Her car was seen on surveillance, and the remote control clicker that is assigned to her and her vehicle was used to enter the subdivision to gain access to the gated community at 5:15 p.m. Numerous emails were unopened on her computer on February 11th. There was no additional outgoing communication from her or known activity after February 11th, 2025. The cell phone information and the cell phone data is pending. We're working with state police to get the information from those phones, but our investigation shows that all the last known communication and activity from Ms. Arakawa was on February 11th. I'm going to go ahead and turn over the podium to Dr. Jarrell. I would ask that everybody refrain from asking questions until everybody has provided their statements. I'll step up to the podium, and then we'll go ahead and field questions from the media. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Heather Jarrell, the Chief Medical Examiner for New Mexico at the Office of the Medical Investigator. I'd like to begin by stating that it is unprecedented for the Office of the Medical Investigator to make public statements about death investigations. However, the circumstances surrounding these two deaths require accurate dissemination of important information. I've also spoken with the Hackman family prior to this conference, who are aware of the autopsy findings and conclusions and are aware of this conference. On Thursday, February 27th, I performed an autopsy on Mr. Gene Hackman. Medical examiner Dr. Daniel Gallego at the Office of the Medical Investigator performed a full autopsy on Miss Betsy Arakawa Hackman, also on Thursday, February 27th. By report, Miss Arakawa Hackman's legal name is Betsy Hackman, which is how she will be referred to hereafter. The cause of death for Miss Betsy Hackman, aged 65 years, is hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. The manner of death is natural. Autopsy examination and full-body postmortem CT demonstrated no findings of trauma internally or externally, with microscopic findings consistent with hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Laboratory testing was positive for hantavirus at a clinical lab, with required confirmation testing positive at Scientific Laboratories Division. Testing for COVID-19, influenza, and other common respiratory viruses was negative. Testing for carbon monoxide was negative. There were no other significant natural disease findings. Pills present on scene were thyroid medication, which were being taken as prescribed and is not currently a concern for a contributory cause of death. The cause of death for Mr. Gene Hackman, aged 95 years, is hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, with Alzheimer's disease as a significant contributory factor. Autopsy examination and a full-body postmortem CT examination demonstrated no acute findings of internal or external trauma and showed severe heart disease, including multiple surgical procedures involving the heart, evidence of prior heart attacks, and severe changes of the kidneys due to chronic high blood pressure. Examination of the brain showed advanced Alzheimer's disease, as well as blood vessel changes in the brain secondary to chronic high blood pressure. Laboratory testing performed at Scientific Laboratories Division was negative for COVID-19, influenza, and other common respiratory viruses. Testing for hantavirus was negative. Testing for carbon monoxide was negative. Additionally, there were no autopsy findings concerning for hantavirus infection. I have been asked when death occurred for these individuals. There is no reliable scientific method to accurately determine the exact time or date of death. Mr. Hackman's initial pacemaker data revealed cardiac activity on February 17th, with subsequent pacemaker interrogation demonstrating an abnormal rhythm of atrial fibrillation on February 18th, which was the last record of heart activity. Based on this information, it is reasonable to conclude that Mr. Hackman probably died around February 18th. Based on the circumstances, it is reasonable to conclude that Ms. Hackman passed away first, with February 11th being the last time that she was known to be alive. Lastly, clinically, hantavirus infection is characterized by flu-like symptoms consisting of fever, muscle aches, cough, sometimes vomiting and diarrhea that can progress to shortness of breath and cardiac or heart failure and lung failure. This occurs after a 1 to 8 week exposure to excrement from a primarily particular mouse species that carries hantavirus. The mortality of hantavirus, the mortality rate of the hantavirus strain in the Southwest is about 38 to 50%. The hantavirus strains in the United States are not transmissible from person to person. And so this is an appropriate time to segue to Dr. Aaron Phipps, the state public health veterinarian with the New Mexico Department of Health. But before I do so, I'd like to kindly ask for everyone to please respect the privacy that Mr. Gene Hackman, Miss Betsy Hackman, and their family and friends deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gerald. I will now provide additional information about hantaviruses in New Mexico. There are many different types of hantaviruses found worldwide. These viruses are zoonotic, meaning they are transmitted from animals to humans. Hantaviruses are carried by rodents. The hantavirus found in New Mexico, the sin nombre virus, is found throughout the state, primarily in deer mice, but in other rodents as well. Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome is a rare disease caused by hantaviruses, but a small number of human infections are found every year in New Mexico. Over the past 5 years, New Mexico has confirmed between 1 and 7 hantavirus infections in humans each year. Through the end of 2024, we have identified 136 infections over the past 50 years in New Mexico residents, 5 of these in Santa Fe County. This is a serious disease. 42% of these infections here in New Mexico were fatal. Most transmission occurs around the patient's residence or workplace, and the New Mexico Department of Health typically conducts an environmental investigation at the residence of all hantavirus cases in our jurisdiction. This can help identify specific areas that may pose higher risk, providing insight into where transmission may have occurred and how to prevent future infections. On March 5th, the New Mexico Department of Health staff conducted a risk assessment of the property, including the main residence, as well as other structures on the property. This was critically important to address concerns about health risks to first responders, as well as to inform any prevention measures needed to protect the family and other individuals entering the property in the future. We assessed the risk of exposure in the primary residence as low, similar to other well-maintained houses in New Mexico. We did identify signs of rodent entry in other structures on the property and provided information and resources about reducing the risk of hantavirus transmission related to those areas. Hantavirus can be transmitted to people through rodent urine, droppings, or saliva, so it is important to take special steps when cleaning up after rodents. Avoiding contact with or breathing in aerosolized rodent urine or feces, especially in a poorly ventilated area, is key. Detailed guidance can be found on the New Mexico Department of Health and the CDC websites, but I will provide a very brief summary now. It is important to use gloves and a well-fitting N95 mask when around or cleaning rodent-infested areas, and to open any windows or doors for at least 30 minutes beforehand to increase ventilation. Spray the area thoroughly with a 10% bleach solution or a commercial disinfectant. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Next, clean the area with paper towels, then throw them away in a covered garbage can that is regularly emptied. Before removing gloves, wash your gloved hands with soap and water or with a disinfectant, and then after removing gloves, wash your hands again with soap and water. It's important to never sweep up or vacuum mouse droppings, since this can spread particles up into the air. Since hantavirus is found throughout New Mexico, awareness of these risks and how to reduce them is important for all New Mexicans. The New Mexico Department of Health extends our deepest condolences to the families and friends during this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that'll conclude the statements for today. We will go ahead and take questions. I ask that there be one question per agency, and please state who you're directing the question to, as there's several individuals here at this conference. Sir.
Sheriff, just to clarify the timeline here, does this mean Gene Hackman was likely home with his deceased wife for a week before he passed away himself?
Yes, I would assume that that is the case.
Do you believe, given his Alzheimer's status, that Mr. Hackman was able to live on his own and survive for those 7 days?
I think that's more a question, maybe for Dr. Jarrell.
Just to repeat so that everyone could hear, the question was, do we believe that Mr. Hackman was able to live on his own and survive? The answer to that question is that Mr. Hackman showed evidence of advanced Alzheimer's disease. I'm not aware of what his normal daily functioning capability was. He was in a very poor state of health. He had significant heart disease, and I think ultimately that is what resulted in his death. I was able to look at fluid to determine if he was dehydrated, and I did not see evidence of dehydration. I did see evidence of very poor kidney function, and I think he died as a result of his heart disease and with Alzheimer's being that contributing factor.
What about starvation?
The question was, what about starvation? So there was no food in his stomach, which means he had not eaten recently, but he had also no evidence of dehydration.
So based on your understanding of the progression of the Alzheimer's, do you believe that he was possibly not aware that his wife had died or didn't know what to do in that situation?
It's difficult to answer. The question was he aware that Miss Hackman had died? And I think that question's difficult to answer, but I can tell you that he was in an advanced state of Alzheimer's, and it's quite possible that he was not aware that she was deceased.
This is for the sheriff. Considering the circumstances under which Mr. Hackman was found in the mudroom with his walking cane and sunglasses by him, do you think there is a possibility that he was trying to get help for his wife?
That's hard to answer. Again, it's hard to get into the frame of mind of what was happening at the time. And I don't know if we'll ever have the answer to that question, whether he was going to go for help or he wasn't. Sir?
Sheriff, are there any other big questions that you're trying to answer? I mean, does this answer the biggest questions you had about their death in this case? Is there anything else that you're really seeking?
Yeah, so the question is there any other big questions that are left? I think a lot of questions were answered here today. I think there was, Dr. Durrell went over the cause of death, and I think a lot of those questions are answered. I think the timeline that we've been given as far as the pacemaker results and the history and evidence that we found as far as the timeline of Miss Arakawa, I think a lot of the questions have been answered. We are waiting on the cell phones, but I would very unlikely that the cell phones are going to show anything else. Another question?
Sheriff, are there any signs of, what have you learned about Mr. Hackman's communication after February 11th? Did you talk to any friends of his who had spoken with him during that week-long period, or know anything about what he was doing?
So the question is whether there was any communication from Mr. Hackman or activity, and no, at this point, no. I don't know if he used cell phones or technology or emails. There's no indication of that. So right now there is no activity from Mr. Hackman.
Sheriff, do you know if his pacemaker was connected to some sort of monitoring service? If anyone tipped off that something was wrong?
The question was his pacemaker connected to a monitoring service? The answer to that is that his physician, one of his physicians, had contacted me and told me that they could see the data from the 17th, but that to really get the most information from that would come from the interrogation of the pacemaker. And that's as much as I can answer, not being a cardiologist.
They didn't say whether or not they were monitoring, or was his pacemaker equipped to send back data in exact time so that someone could say, hey, something's not right?
I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
Question for you, Dr. Durrell.
Sir.
Was there any footage that came from the body cam from the house?
I'm sorry, what was
there any footage or anything that you can see from, like, body cam footage from the house? Any
Are you talking about the body cams that the investigator, the responding personnel were wearing?
Video, is there any video?
No, so there was no outside surveillance or interior surveillance that we are aware of in the residence. So there was nothing to show the activity inside or outside the residence, and not at this time, no.
Dr. Jarrell, you mentioned that one of the symptoms of hantavirus is shortness of breath. We learned before that Betsy Hackman was laying on the floor when she was found. What kind of medical episode would she have had to cause her to fall and then not be able to ask for help?
The question was regarding shortness of breath with hantavirus and what kind of medical episode would we expect from somebody found on the floor. And I think to be able to answer that question fairly, it can go back to hantavirus infection, which initiates with what's called a prodromal phase. That's initially flu-like symptoms where a person has fever and muscle aches, they don't feel well. After, of course, being exposed to rodent excrement. And that phase can last roughly 3 to 6 days. And then they can transition to that pulmonary phase where they have fluid in their lungs and around their lungs. And at that point, a person can die very quickly, within 24 to 48 hours, roughly speaking, without medical treatment. It's not uncommon to find someone down on the floor as part of a terminal collapse, so to speak, and that may very well have been what happened to Ms. Hackman.
You're estimating her time of death on the 11th, or is it possible that she collapsed and was alive for a couple of days?
It's hard to say. I don't think she was on the floor alive for a couple of days. I think that she went through that time period, and I don't know when she began to feel ill. And those are just things that I don't know that I'm ever going to have the answers to. But I think, and going back to that initial time period, roughly 3 to 6 days of feeling ill and then succumbing pretty quickly after fluid begins to build up in the lungs.
Given the dog was created, is it fair to assume that the dog died from dehydration or starvation?
I don't think we know the answer to that. However, given the timelines presented, it is a possibility.
Is it possible the dog had the hantavirus?
Dogs do not get sick from hantavirus.
Sir. The question was if we knew on Betsy's visit to the pharmacy if there was some medication or if she consulted with a pharmacist. We don't have that information, and I'm not sure that we can get that information due to HIPAA laws, but we don't have that information right now.
Sheriff?
Sir. At this point, there's no indication that there was a caretaker at the home.
Sheriff, with the footage that you saw of Betsy on February 11th, was there any indication that she was feeling shortness of breath or having trouble moving around while she was running these errands?
You know, we can analyze the video a little more, but it's going to be hard to tell. She was walking around, she was shopping, she was visiting stores, but my detectives didn't indicate that there was any problem with her or struggle of her getting around. So, and I believe she had a mask on also, so I'll have to confirm that, but yeah, that there wasn't any indication of that. Sasha?
I don't know if this is a better answer, but when was the last time you guys dealt with a hantavirus case in Betsy County or responded to one?
Yeah, the question was last time the city of Santa Fe or the county dealt with a hantavirus case. I think we're going to have to look into that. I'll get back to you. I would have to do some data before we pull that information.
Have you had any communication with the CDC? Is there a concern about a bigger public health issue here when it comes to hantavirus?
The CDC is aware of this case. Hantavirus is a notifiable condition nationally. All hantavirus cases are notified to them. This is not an unusual case. We get cases every year, unfortunately. So we're not seeing any indications of any abnormal or unusual patterns.
We'll go ahead and take 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap this up. Is there anybody that hasn't asked a question yet? Sir.
Did Betsy communicate to anyone, family, friends, that she was feeling ill?
Again, we're going through some of the communications, and I think the cell phones may have some indications of that prior to the 11th. But as of this moment, I don't have any information that she was indicating that she was feeling ill during any communication. One more question?
Since there's no sense that this is criminal in nature, are you closing this investigation? Are you still going to be releasing body camera footage from the deputies that entered the house? What happens next?
So we will deal with IPRA requests as necessary. If there's body camera or any request for public information, we will be releasing that because of the law. But yeah, we consider this an open investigation until we close the loopholes of the cell phones, until we finish out the necropsy results of the canine and other loose ends that we need to tie up. But you know, I think we're pretty close to the timeline and with the information that Dr. Jarrell provided.
One question on the heart disease: is it fair to describe this as a heart attack, or is it not? Is that not an accurate term for the heart disease that he suffered?
The question was, is it fair to conclude that Mr. Hackman died from a heart attack? And the answer to that is that it's a little bit difficult to say. I saw no microscopic evidence of a recent heart attack. However, those changes can also take some time to develop, several hours to develop, so that I can see it under the microscope. He could have had an abnormal heart rhythm. We already know that he was in atrial fibrillation on the 18th, and that could have evolved into a more terminal heart rhythm.
Is heart failure an okay way to describe it? Do you use that terminology?
The question was, did Mr. Hackman have heart failure? Oftentimes we see fluid around the lungs and heart failure and congestion of the liver. I did not see that in his case, but he had very poor heart, or very extensive heart disease. And so he would have been predisposed to abnormal heart rhythms, and hence he had a pacemaker as well.
Thank you, everybody. That'll conclude the press conference for today. Thank you, everybody.